Personal selling is not a new term. We have discussed personal selling in marketing mix, that too in promotion mix. Personal selling is personal communication with an audience through paid personnel of an organization or its agents in such a way that the audience perceive the communication message as part of the organization's message strategy. Personal selling is a promotional method in which one party, that is the organization, and one party, that salesperson, part of the organization, uses its skill and techniques for building personal relationship with other party. It is also the individual who is selling responsible in obtaining and creating value. Personal selling is also called face-to-face marketing, in which one person who is the salesperson that tries to convince the customer in buying a product. So, what is personal selling? Personal selling is a direct form of communication. It is a paid form of communication, and it is done by the paid representatives. It is the prospects that lead to the transaction, customer satisfaction, account development, and profitable relationship. It is a push form of approach. It is a two-way communication, and it adds any special need of the customer if required. So it is also very effective, or you can say the most effective, when it is directed to the prospects. So why personal selling? Why organizations adopt personal selling? Why they try to take the advantage of personal selling? Personal selling is important when there is an economy which is very much consumption oriented. Everybody is requiring to buy, everybody is interested to consume. In this sense, every organization is having a lot of scope of doing business. In this context, personal selling is very important. Sometimes when there are a lot of competition is there in the market, and your competitors are always there to eat your market share, you need to develop a better personal selling approach. Diffusion innovation is also approaching and also affecting personal selling. So many things are coming to the market. Customer is expecting a lot, but at the same time, organizations are also equally providing a lot of options, which is clearly indicating the growth of the market, and personal selling can be more effective in this context. Market research is also one of the important elements of personal selling. Due to market research, organization could able to understand how the market is going to respond, and mostly in a growing economy, personal selling is going to be more effective. When there are many organizations consider customer feedback is important to grow, and customers' day-to-day understanding of the business, involvement with the business, and an honest approach towards the business is important, personal selling can do wonder. Very important aspect of personal selling is that day by day selling is not becoming transactional, and selling is not becoming short term, rather it's becoming more of a relationship selling and expert oriented selling or consultative selling. Another important point of personal selling and its importance is that we want to create the future leaders in the market, and those who understand personal selling better, interact with customers better, and those who understand the ground reality of the market better, they can lead the organization's marketing department in future more effectively. So I will be discussing very interesting research conducted by Otru in 1991, where he discussed there are 4 different eras of personal selling and salesmanship. In that, he has pointed out that we can have 4 different elements or different eras of personal selling, like the production era, the sales era, the marketing era, and the partnering era. Let's try to understand the production role. Production role means when a salesperson is very much looking at the market where a lot of demand and supply is very less, the salesperson can better understand its production role. And here, the salesperson's biggest challenge would be informing the consumer about the right product and the right form of consumption. He has to do many things efficiently and he doesn't require any specific quality. So, in this kind of scenario, the right allocation of resources is very important. So, in a production role of a salesperson, he has to give more attention to the decision support system, and he has to give more attention to the effective territory management, and he has to give equal attention to the call designs. Let's move to the second role, which is the sales role. In the sales role, the salespersons need to stimulate rather than it has to create some kind of a satisfaction. So the stimulation role means you have to come out of its comfort zone and start pitching. So here the objective of salesperson to achieve the short-term results, he used to be more aggressive and should be using all the aggressive selling techniques. Persuasion is the most important weapon he will be having in sales role. And here, as the game changes, he has to adopt different roles also. In a sales role, the most or maybe the focused or the most effective element would be the objective of sales department, handling customers' objections and the closing skills. In case of marketing role, the salespersons need to understand the customer's problem, at the same time the organization's problem also. In the initial phase of marketing role, a salesperson may not be more tilted towards the customer's problem or maybe customer's solutions, rather he should be more on organization's solutions or maybe profit orientation. So in this kind of role, the salesperson need to give proper attention for customer oriented training and how to motivate the customers. Another important role is the partnering role. In the partnering role, the salespersons need to be the value creator. And today, in this present context, in this world, maximum salespersons have moved towards the partnering role. The partnering role, the salespersons should consider the relationship between the customer and the organization as the marriage, and the work within the organization need to be shifted to outside the organization. The salesperson should work with the customer, develop the solutions, build a real relationship, not a fake relationship, and they always try to adopt a win-win situation which will help both organization as well as the customer. So here the salesperson will try to develop a kind of competence which in a long term will be the advantage of the organization to survive cutthroat competition. In this phase, the organization should always try to address the buyer-seller debt, which is nothing but the relationship and probably the dimensions of different relationship which the customer as well as the organization used to share. And today, as I said, these 4 different roles of a salesperson is really required to get success in personal selling. So in personal selling today, every organization should blend the salesperson's roles, which should not very much reflected in one role, production role or the sales role or the marketing role or the partnering role. The organization should try to identify how the sales and marketing department should work together, and the roles that has been defined in sales and marketing may not remain that distinct. Second thing is that the organization should connect with its departments better, and today we have to understand that sales department cannot operate on its own. Sales department, marketing department and other departments of organizations should work together. Next important point is that today we have to work and we have to train our people. And the salespeople training is equally important, but the most important is to train our customers. So today, in a partnering role, the salesperson need to give proper training to the customers. And in this context, we have to outsource some of our sales functions also. And if you understand these four different roles perfectly, you can manage your critical time and sales better. A right balance of personal selling and its roles will only give satisfaction to the customers and a long term benefit to the organizations.